Hello, my name is Amanda. I am currently a middle school ELA teacher in a master's special education teacher preparation program. As I work towards this change, I am aware of the differences between the general and special education roles. The special education teacher's role is to support the student's learning by improving instructional practices to meet the student's needs. A special education teacher is a person who upholds the legal side. They are responsible for the multitude of legal documents that ensure services are provided to the students. They communicate with the team. A special education teacher is someone who has the kids' back. They ensure that the kids' needs are met. I will guide the students to be as successful as possible. Upholding professionalism is what special education teachers do. The ethics are visible in the documentation of services. The special education teacher uses documentation to determine what needs to be figured out if accommodations, modifications, or services are not being provided. The special education teacher advances the profession of teaching by asking, how can we collaborate to move forward? We need to operate as a team unit, not only a single person providing services for the kid. Both time and trust are necessary to meet and communicate about data, observations, and movement towards goals. When a team lead goes to a district training, they ought to bring it back and share that knowledge with the team unit. A special education teacher models integrity, trust, and respect in their leadership role. All of this collaboration is planning towards co-teaching. The disposition necessary to be, or dispositions, the dispositions necessary to be a special education teacher are different than general education teachers. A special education teacher must communicate effectively with parents, teachers, administrators, and students. They must be organized. The organization of a special education teacher looks a little different, almost like time management to plan, to test, write reports, and conduct progress monitoring. These reports are not quick to write. General education teachers and administrators may not realize the time spent on the legal side of the paperwork. Some of the dispositions I already possess that lend themselves to special education are my heart and my patience. I approach my students with a full and open heart. I show through my language and my actions that I care about my students as a whole person more than their latest test or essay grade. I am patient when I give grace to my middle schoolers at this awkward and impulsive time, especially these eighth graders who are approaching a huge transition. I have patience as they wrap their heads around this major change that is fast approaching. A special education teacher needs patience because there are some kiddos for whom repeating is important. The student is not grasping the concept, and that is part of their disability. Special education teachers have to leave their personal biases at the door. They should celebrate the individuality and diversity of students. General education teachers may categorize students with ADHD or disabilities as lazy. The special education teacher will need to step in to coach and converse about this. Personal biases can be difficult to address because the teacher may not know what it's like to struggle. The categorization of lazy may be negatively internalized by the student since they are treated as if the repeated directions and lost photocopies are who they are. Special education teachers can build the profession by pointing out this bias that missing work means a lazy student, when in reality, the student was not supported enough with check-ins, repeated directions, or other accommodations. A special education teacher will ask, what can we do? Earlier I said a special education teacher communicates with the team. That team includes families. They connect and build positive relationships with families by saying, I have the student's best interests in mind. I am open. I am here to answer your questions. We should go over your rights and safeguards. I am happy to answer any questions that come up today or later on. If you don't agree, if something isn't working out the way you expected based on this meeting, then you have the right to call 100 meetings each year. A special education teacher lets the families know what options they have. The families are the biggest piece of the puzzle to the team. They make sure that all voices are heard and that the plan is okay with everyone. A special education teacher believes in their heart that all students can learn.